When's the lag? Thank you. First lap. Start the rest of breath.
Good afternoon, ladies and gents. We are live here from Telford. It's the GB9 main event, semi-final. And what a game we've got here. Mark Gray, multiple time GB9 winner, Euro Tour winner, European number one, British number one. He's won everything. Against John Mcallister, who is very well known in the 8-ball world. Very handy with an 9-ball cue as well. So, I'm going to be taking you through this match. My name is Graham Hamilton, and I've also got someone alongside me today as well, in case my voice doesn't quite hold out for the entirety of this match. So, nice little bump there on the 2 there from Mark. So he's left himself a tough shot here on the 2. I am joined by Johnny Holden, long-time player here at GB9.
Afternoon, Graham.
Thanks for joining us, Johnny. This is going to be a really good match.
My pleasure. I'm really excited to be doing this, to be honest. First time in the booth.
What's your thoughts on this matchup then? Mark Gray, John Mcallister.
Well, I'll be honest with you, I'm not that familiar with John Mcallister.
Well, I've had the delight to play John. I played him in the main event. It was actually him that put me out of the main event. Very solid player, really good cueist. He didn't miss a single ball in the match against me. He was really, really solid. One of the things you'll know yourself when players come from a different cue sport discipline, they can pot balls easily, but sometimes they'll struggle with the speed of the table, speed of the cushions, positional play. Something that impressed me about John was that he seemed to be well in control of his cue ball as well, which is something you don't really see very often. So a very, very capable 9-ball player, and to be honest, I'm not surprised that he's at this stage of the event. I fancy them to go quite far, so I think it's going to be a tough game for sure.
So is he from more of a snooker background, or is it English 8-ball?
Yeah, it's English 8-ball, so I don't know To be fair, I don't really follow English 8-ball, but I have been told that he is a world champion, a former world champion, or possibly still serving world champion at 8-ball. So this guy knows how to play, and looking at how he cues a ball, it's very, very clear that he knows what he's doing. Great player.
Yeah, I think his tactical side of the game is going to be tested here.
Big time.
Because they don't call him granite for nothing.
Oh yes. Oh wow, he's folded that one through.
He's almost cued that too well, isn't he?
It's a really clean pot, wasn't it? Tough shot. He was dead straight. That cue ball was so close to the rail as well. Such a tough shot. He really executed that well, but you can't make these types of mistakes against Mark Gray, and I think he's going to find that out.
Yeah, I mean, I know myself from playing Mark, and you'll understand this as well, that you kind of feel like you've got to make something happen and kind of make something out of nothing, because chances come so few and far between that you feel like you've got to take the bull by the horns and sort of create something from nothing to get yourself in some of these ranks. Do you know what I mean? And it's easy to do that and maybe go for a little bit too much, or certainly something that you wouldn't normally go for against somebody else.
So if you're in John's shoes, you're going to be more aggressive then, or you're going to try and run out as much as possible.
I just think, well, I mean, I don't know John all that well, but he might be thinking it's his best strategy.
Yep.
Because if you get involved too heavily in the, if you're waiting for Mark to make too many mistakes, and you're going to be waiting a long time.
So Mark runs out the first rack. Looking at your comments here, Brett, thank you very much for that comment. So John Mcallister is the 8-ball world champion at the moment, so what a great player. Shout out to Danny Lorimer as well, thank you so much for your comment. Anyone else wants to make a comment, please feel free. I'm so sorry about my voice, I've been struggling all weekend. If you can't understand what I'm saying, just let us know and I can hand it straight over to Johnny.
Who also won't have a clue what he's on about.
So Johnny, we're just having a wee look here at the results, matches in play at the moment. So
Rack 2, John Mcallister to break.
Tom Staveley 8-1 up on Matthew Wrigley. Matthew's someone we know from back home. He's had a really good first GB9, really holding his own in Tier 1, but Tom Staveley's a class act, and it looks like it's a step too far for Matthew. But
yeah, I think it's. I think Matthew will be proud of the way he's performed. I mean, it's all good experience for him. He's young and very, very keen, and I know from speaking to him that he's loved every minute of it.
so John's got a chance here to break and run. It's a really nice break off. Got a great opening shot here on the 1. The 2's close by. It should pass the 6.
Well, that shot tells us it does pass the 6, and just having a look at the layout here, I can't see too many obstacles. It's a join the dots type of situation. It's always nice early on in a match if you can get a bit of a roadmap finish to get that arm loosened off, and you really, it helps you settle in these type of situations, I think. He's got a nice pace around the table, John. He's not rushing. He's taking his time. All looks very measured, and you know he's letting Mark know that he's here to play here. I think that's my first ever commentator's curse there.
Back to John Mcallister.
So, scores tied at 1 each. And I'm not sure if this goes in the corner or this is a safety, but I think it goes in the corner. Oh, excuse me, I got it on the side. He's just flicked up off the 5 there, but he's alright. That's nicely judged.
Good finish there from Mark to retake the lead.
Yeah, he was never really looked like any difficulties there. Makes it all look so simple.
A shout out to our sponsors here at GB9. Thank you for your support. Dynasphere balls playing really nicely this week. Rasson, of course, fantastic Rasson table we have here at GB9. It's a tight table as well, Johnny. You played on it, of course, didn't you? You played one match.
I did. I played on it yesterday against Chris Fraser, and it was playing absolutely beautifully.
Yeah, they're beautiful tables. The outside tables are really good here as well. So that's another good break there from John. Looks like everything's out in the open there.
Yeah, he's doing a good job of keeping the white in the backing into the middle of the table. He's not losing it behind the rack. It's not wild. It's it's nice and controlled. That if he can keep up that kind of break in for the rest of the match, it'll stand him in good stead.
Sometimes it's so difficult to keep that cue ball in the middle of the table. It's so important as well. They say that always keep your cue ball in the middle of the table. Yeah,
but players at this level, if they can find that early in the game, if they can find that kind of timing on it, they can sometimes just carry it through the rest of the game. It gets harder as the game goes on, and especially if the score line's tight and you get a bit tense and whatever. But
yep.
I think from what I've seen, he looks good on the break shot, John.
That was a good opening shot in the two there from John. You couldn't see from this current camera angle, but he was hampered with that 9 ball. He was actually having to almost manufacture a different type of bridge just to be able to hit that cue ball. So often that can happen if you're cueing over a ball. If you're hampered, it's so easy to make a mistake because you're just not used to cueing that particular way. So
yeah, that's right. And the different bridges, just raising your arm or whatever a little bit. Like you can see, he's not got his hand on the table here. His palm of the hand's not on the table. It's up in the air. But I think that's just because he was stretching a little bit there. But these guys, they've developed all their different bridges and stuff that works for them. It's very much an individual thing, that you see these wide varieties of closed bridges and open bridges, and it's all about being stable and comfortable for me.
It's definitely more of a maybe American, Asian way of doing things is with the closed bridge. You don't really see very many British players playing with a closed bridge, do you? It's all very snooker type.
Yeah, if you look at John here, he looks more like a snooker type bridge. He's got.
Marty Herman, different strokes for different folks. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You do
That's
what works
right.
for you.
It's a bit like golf, isn't it? They've all got their difference. Everyone swings the club a little bit differently, but they all meet the ball and time it like you're supposed to, and they get the desired result.
Absolutely.
I didn't realise John was a lefty.
Always overdone this just a little bit. It's actually not too bad. I think it's a bit more angle than you would wish. What do you think, Johnny?
Slightly more. I think you just go forward just before the middle pocket and just play for the left corner, just like that.
It's a really nice stroke, isn't it? It's a break and run. It's 2 each. This is a high quality
Right to
match.
Mcallister.
Really happy that we've come into the box for this one. I'm going to enjoy watching this game, I think.
Me too, and I think with the players that have been missing this weekend due to the US Open, a lot of people thought this was going to be Mark's to lose, but these guys are here to play, let me tell you.
I got to be honest, I thought this was Mark Gray's event every day of the week, and it might still be, but you kind of forget that are actually guys like John. You know, John's, I don't know off the top of my head how well he's done in previous GB9s, but I don't think he's quite caught, you know, to the final stage. I don't think. But this is a great opportunity for him, and he's a very capable player. So, sure, we don't have Imrans or Darren Appletons here or Elliot Sandersons, but we've got guys who are just as capable. Could be looking at another break and run here. That's a great opening shot from Mark.
Yeah, he's perfect on this three, just to slide past the 7 over to the side rail and back out. Just like that. Now, do you think he'll punch this round 2 rails, Graham, or come back up the table off 1?
I would go for 1, I think. No, 2, you're
2
right.
it is.
His cue ball is so good, isn't it? That's inch perfect, isn't it? Well, that's
That's
unbelievable.
perfect, yeah.
So difficult to judge, but you know this. He's played in this table so many times. He knows how it's going to play.
No, it's just he's not chasing the cue ball up and down the table, you know.
I really like his cue action market. It's so solid.
I think he can either go straight up or he can go around the back of the 9 here off
Back
2.
of the 9, what do you think?
Back of the 9, you think? He looks like he's queuing high, so he's just going, he's checked it actually straight up. So we've called 2 wrong out of 2 here.
I'm going to stop predicting Mark Gray, because Mark Gray is a great player. I'm not a great player. I'm going to stop telling him how to play.
Oh, I wouldn't tell him how to play. I'm just trying to predict how he's going to do. And one thing I like about Mark Graham is no matter what shot he's faced with, be it the easiest shot you've ever seen or a really difficult one, he gives it the same amount of respect. There's nothing taken for granted.
Rack 6, John McAllister to break. Round 3 Racksters.
Okay, so breaking off here, John McAllister. It's looking like the break is really important in this game. These guys are at the table, they're breaking off, and it looks like they're completing their visits.
Yeah,
and taking advantage.
It's almost kind of got like an on-serve feel about it.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, I tell you what, this is going to be quite tricky because the 2 is quite tough.
I don't think it goes past that 5, does it? Well, he's given this a bit of thought. I'm not sure if he can just slide the 2 past the 5 and go forward with the cue ball onto the 5. It looks like he might not have that shot available. No. That's a good shot. He's found cover.
It's our first chance to see what his safety play is like.
I'll be pleased with that. Well, he's contained the situation, but he should be in trouble again here. Oh, he spun that beautifully behind the 7. Oh, it might have just looked out.
Has it come out?
It's hard to tell.
I think that goes, that 2. Oh boy.
He's a little bit unfortunate if that's just leaked out.
Yeah, Mark's looking at the cue ball bump in the 9, so
Yeah.
I think it goes. This could be our first unforced error. Yeah, good shot. Is he on the 3? Looks. I think he's on it. Ryan O'Neill, thank you very much for the comment, sir. Very good player, Ryan O'Neill, isn't he? He's a stalwart of the GB9. Yeah,
he certainly is. He, you can't miss him at the venue.
Oh, what a shot. Oh, it's come out. So, this is a test of queuing, isn't it?
Yeah. Decision time for John here. And these games, Graham, you'll know, you get these points in the matches where you're faced with these decisions, and it's about how aggressive you want to be.
And we touched on it earlier on, is there more pressure on John to be more aggressive because it is Mark Gray, he's a great player. it's almost like you're at the table, you have to take your chance while you're at the table. This is a tough shot coming up here. Yeah, it's a tough one. Oh, chance here for Mark Gray now to take a 2-rack lead.
And you just, because there's so much, you just feel that it's do or die with those type of shots. You just think either I pot this and I can win the rack, or I miss it and I'll probably lose it.
Yuri K on YouTube has asked what the other semi-final of the main event is. So it looks like
it's looking like it's Adam Smith
and it's Damian Massey.
Damian Massey, who played a fantastic game against Stephen Ellis in the quarterfinals. I think he had 4 or 5 breaking runs, was
That's
it?
excellent. That's the thing about some of the other big guys not being here. It gives guys like Damian Massey, Adam Smith, really solid players who maybe come up a little bit short against the pros. It gives them a great chance of getting to the final and really having a shot at the trophy.
Well, to be honest, I always feel like they've got a pretty good chance anyway. But I know what you mean.
Yeah.
A little bit more, maybe. Yeah.
Adam Smith has been really dominant up where we're from in Scotland. The Scottish events up there. Adam Smith, every time he turns up, he seems to clean up. He's a brilliant player, Adam.
He's kind of setting the standard. He's raised the bar a little bit, hasn't he?
This is looking quite straightforward now for 4-2.
Just reading the comments there. Yes, we are Scottish, both Graham and I. Apologies if the accent's causing any complications.
It's bad enough to understand the accent, but also when I'm losing my voice as well, it makes it doubly difficult. Mark Gray's taking that one away, so it just shows one mistake is such a big impact, because John Mcallister's now lost his serve. We're talking about, basically, it's almost like it's on serve. He's now lost his serve, basically. He's lost his break. If Mark Gray breaks and runs here, it goes 5-2, and at this level, that's a huge lead. Yuri, the accents are unreal. That's very kind. Thank you so much. Where are you from, Yuri? Anyone else watching on YouTube or Facebook, feel free to pop in a comment, just like Yuri has done. We'll be very interested to know who's watching, why you're watching. Oh, Moscow, wow. What a great Russian players out there, my goodness.
Oh yeah, Russia really do have some strong 9-ball talent.
So, Mark's not had the perfect break here. He's...
Push out ball.
So, push out.
So, I don't think this will be passed back. I mean, there's lots of options here for John.
Is there a gap here?
There's always a gap.
Oh boy.
As John Virgo says, there's always a gap.
Uh-oh. Guys like Mark Gray, all they need is one little mistake like that and they are snapping up the opportunities. You don't have to ask him twice.
That's the thing though, isn't it? I mean, it's not even really a proper mistake. It's a kind of a half mistake, but that's enough for these guys.
Oh, I didn't realise he could pot it.
Oh yeah, the gap was there. It does a 4 past 8, it does. It definitely does.
And John won't. There will be no part of John that's expecting to get back to the table on this rack now.
No, definitely not. What a cutest Mark is. I've watched Mark for quite a while now, just like you, Johnny, but every time I see him queue, you're just mesmerised. He's so solid when he's down on the shot.
I think his potting's his biggest strength, really. You know, there's not many guys that you'd put more money on than Mark for single ball potting.
Last time we seen Mark in Moscone Cup 2016. It's a shame he's not been back since. I don't think he quite plays as much. I mean, we've had the matchroom events go to London this year with the UK Open. He wasn't there. European Open in Fulda, he wasn't there either, which is, I think it's a real shame, to be honest. Players like Mark, they should be playing on the world stage at every opportunity. Obviously there's other factors involved.
Well, that European Moscone team, it's getting harder and harder to break into that. There's so many guys top level.
Solid. So touching on Moscone Cup then, while it's come up, so the Europe team's now got 3 players confirmed. We've got Joshua Filler, no major surprise there. Sanchez Ruiz, Mark sends that one home for 5-2. Sanchez Ruiz, who's the in-form player in the world. And then we've had Albin Ocean, who just qualified yesterday as well. So let's say that you are Alex Lely. You have the responsibility of choosing the 2 wild cards, bearing in mind who's on the team already. Who would you go for as your last 2 picks, and what are you looking for from your last 2 picks?
Well, I always think you need a balanced team, a balance between youth and experience, and I think there's certainly some contenders for that. Call it a little bit of Scottish bias, but I think Jason Shaw would be a good shout. He always seems to come alive in the Moscone. He's a real banker for them in that kind of atmosphere.
I'm with you. I think it needs someone like him, someone who's experienced, he's used to winning the event. He knows how to bring a team up, how to get them going. I think, yeah. I mean, he thrives on the big occasion as well, so I think he's got to be a guaranteed.
Sorry, just to go back there, Graham, did you say it was Albin Ocean?
Sanchez Ruiz and Joshua Filler.
Right.
It's a nice little containing safety there, snooker.
Yeah, another thing that Alex will be considering is the pairings. You know, who's going to suit playing with who.
I tell you what, Yuri's just come up with an interesting one there. So Melling, what a great run he had at the US Open. Chris Melling, it's so good to see him back on the big stage in the latter stages of a big tournament.
Always has been one of my favourite ever players to watch. He's just a joy to watch, Chris.
That's a solid pot from John. He's under pressure at this stage. He needs to make this visit count.
You kind of feel, I mean, you kind of feel it, and it'll almost feel to him like this is a must take situation, a must win rack.
Do you see any way back from if there was to be an unforced error here and Mark was to take this rack 6-2 in a race to 9, can you see any way back? Good shot.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't think he would be out of it. Matches can turn, but it would certainly be difficult.
Yuri saying Pat Holtz would be great wearing a kilt. Yeah, I don't think he plays anymore. I've not seen him around the Scottish Tour for since I started playing on it a few years ago. Yeah, I believe he was a really good player in his day, wasn't he, Johnny?
Absolutely.
You'll know more than me, but
Absolutely, he was, Graham. And he can still play, believe me.
he's overhit this one a little bit. He might be okay because I mean the 7 is quite close by, so he could almost try and control the 7 here by bumping into it. What do you think?
Yeah, you can't avoid it, I don't think, so he's just going to have to negotiate and try and judge where the balls are going to finish here.
Ewan is asking what kind of cues Mark got. It's one of those hybrid cues. I think you're right, I don't know for sure, but I think he's always played with it, almost like like half snooker, half. I mean,
Yeah, I think it's a kind of modified ash cue.
Oh, that's a good shot. Is he a little bit straight on this? It'd be a shame if he was straight, because do you know what? He controlled that quite well. It's so easy for that to run away from you. Difficult to tell.
Yeah. It's difficult to tell which side of off straight he is if he isn't straight.
Well, we'll find out in just a second. Oh, it's an easy mistake to make. He was on the wrong side of the pocket.
I'm not sure if he's got away with that. He might have done.
I don't think so, Johnny. I think he can pot this. Yeah, the way he's queuing up, it looks like it's. Oh boy, you've got a fear for John now. Yeah, Mark takes that one away.
Right to Mark,
So Johnny, we'll just have a little look at the other scores on the outside tables at the moment. So we're down to the quarter-finals in both Challenge 1 and Challenge 2. So Julian Roper's 4-3 up on Kevin May in the Challenge 2 quarters. Benji Buckley 5-3 up on Philip Wildman in Challenge 1. Got to fancy Benji possibly to take that down. There's a few other contenders, but
Well, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't count Phil out. He's back playing some really good stuff himself.
Jim Smith, one of the Scottish players, our good friend, he's 3-1 up on Richard Fulwell in the quarterfinals of Tier 2. Challenge 1, Gabriel Vasilash 4-1 up on Kev Simpson. Kev Simpson's a really solid player. That'll be a great result for Gabriel if he can take that one down. John Chapman just started against Craig Laurie in the other quarterfinal in Challenge 2.
Yeah, getting down to the business end here at GB9.
It's like Sunday at the Masters.
That's a solid pot from Mark.
He's going to be hampered over the 7, but I think he looks like he's got the perfect angle to just roll that forward up for the 4. So shouldn't be any problems here.
That's nicely done. Hampered queuing again, we spoke about it earlier on. It can make people make some mistakes that they wouldn't normally make mistakes with. But yeah, he did really well there.
Chris. Couple of decibels, please. Thank you.
Somebody in the crowd getting told to quieten down there.
And rightly so, this is a semi-final. Is he a little bit straight here? Little bounce. That's not too bad.
No, it's not too bad. He can work with that, I think.
Is he going to go forward?
I think he's going to go back.
Back,
I'm
yeah.
not sure. Yeah.
Good, yep. So this is the kind of shot where you need to cue it well. Once again, same question, are you going to push this one forward?
Yeah, I think I would be pushing it forward off the top rail, and Mark would probably do the same, I think.
Oh wow, that's the first mistake I think we've seen from Mark.
That's a
That's a
collector's
tough
item.
shot. That's a tough shot, to be fair. Although you wouldn't expect Mark to be making an error, but he is human after all.
This is going to be nasty. Might have to get the fishing tackle out here, I think.
Again, going back to hampered cue. Even if he does make this 6, I mean, I think the 7 does pass the 8 to go into the top corner, but the question is, does the cue ball hit the 7 on its way past?
And can he lean over the side of the table, or is he going to have to play it from the top end? Oh, he's alright, he can lean over the side.
Alright, good shot. Well,
Tell you
hold
what,
on.
that could be perfect.
Yeah, what a shot.
Could not have played that any better.
Oh, John, well done. He's keeping himself alive with this. Yeah, well done there, John.
Right, to John Mcallister.
Well done, sir. 6-3. You still fancy Mark, but if John can maybe take the next one, maybe the next 2, then
Yeah, John will just be saying to himself, I'd imagine, stick in, because these situations can turn around and you've got to ask the question.
Yuri on the chat is asking us a bit more about challenge 1 and 2. Yeah, it's one of the great things that GB9 do, and it's one of the reasons why guys like us keep coming back. They make it so accessible for the players. Plenty of pool for your entry fee, it's absolutely brilliant. If in the main event it doesn't quite go well, you're put into either challenge 1 or challenge 2, depending on levels. Challenge 2 is for
Right, 10, John Mcallister.
some of the players who maybe haven't had great results. It means that they're matched against players of similar level. Challenge 1 is for the players who have been a little bit better that weekend. And it's another double elimination tournament, so great thing about GB9, you're guaranteed at least 4 matches, 2 in each event.
Yeah, they really do cater for all levels, and it's one of the great things about this tour.
And you're asking about entrance fee and first prize. So your entrance fee, it changes depending on how you sign up for the tournaments, but for me personally it's £150. I'm a single event entrant, I've not signed up for the season, and that £150 got me entry to both tournaments, the main event and to challenge 1. In terms of the prizes, so for challenge event 1, this is subject to a full field. Now I don't think the field was completely full, it was almost full, so it might be slightly different to the numbers I'm going to quote here, but the winner of the challenge event 1 gets £500. Runner-up 250, semis is 150, and quarterfinals is £90. Slightly less in Tier 2 because the standard of Tier 2 is a little bit less, but still really good. 360 for the winner, 170 for runner-up. John attempts a safety shot here. Is the 3 blocking the 1?
I think partially.
But yeah, to just touch on what what Yuri was asking there. If anyone is in any doubt as to whether they want to join the GB9, do it. That's a decent shot. Is the gap there again?
But the gap could be there, but I don't think Mark will feel there's any value in plotting this with the 2 up by the 5 there.
No, definitely not. This could be quite a lengthy safety battle. Good to see.
Oh, he's played that beautifully.
Graham, this is when you pull out the old Efren Reyes zigzag shot across the table and cut it in along the top rail.
I would be more inclined to try that. I don't know if John would. I think he's a bit more solid than that. Is he doing a little swerve here? Yeah, that's a tough shot to get.
He was in a world of trouble there.
But Mark is forced. He's forced his opponent into making that error. This is what makes guys like him so good. Now again, position on the 2. If it passes the 5, you know, it's going to be fairly tricky.
I'm not sure if he's thinking about locking him up again here. I could be wrong.
It's something that you don't really see that often in professional pool, is the 3 foul rule coming into it. It's used more at amateur level, but it's still a handy thing to use if your balls are tied up.
I'll tell you a wee story, Graham. I lost a frame on 3 fouls once. That's not much of a story in itself, but the guy wasn't even trying to snooker me.
He's going aggressive here.
He's trying to weave a path through those balls. Look at that, perfect.
Wow. Awesome. James Jack, our old pal James Jack from Scotland. He's asked, good to see you, James. It's a shame you're not at the event. We've missed you.
What up, Jay?
Any Scottish boys still in challenge? Yeah, Jim Smith, He's in challenge 2. That's why me and Johnny are still here. Both of us are out. So we're just waiting on Jim. As soon as he wins or loses the event, then we're away home. The good thing about Jim being in means that Johnny and I have got an opportunity to do this. And hopefully we're not annoying everyone. Another good positional shot from Mark. Right side of the ball.
Yeah, he's gonna need good on this 5. And that's absolutely no, I was gonna say perfect, it's just run on a little bit.
Still a pretty good shot though. The thing is he going to go 2 rails with this?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, you don't
2
want
rails side to side.
Don't want to come close to that 8 ball.
1, 2, yeah, perfect.
We've got a comment here from the former Scottish champion. In fact, we've got 2 Scottish champions. We've got the reigning 1, James Jack, and the former one, the one that he took over from, Andrew Morris. Nice to hear from Andrew, our good friend.
Was it 1990, 1991, Andy Morris?
He held that title for a long, long time. Too long, in some people's opinion. Nice to have a new champion in James Jack, defending his title next weekend.
I was just going to say, of course, it's on next weekend.
Well, this is going to be 7-3. Not looking great for John here.
Yeah, and unfortunately he's just coming out second best in these tactical scenarios with the push-outs and the safety battle, and that's just the experience of Mark, just giving him the edge.
I mean, that wasn't an easy rack to run out, really. There was a few little clusters, a few things to negotiate on that table, and all it took was just one snooker, one mistake from John, and that's it. You know, he's running out at you know, not the easiest table in the world. It just shows one mistake and you're in trouble.
Rack 11.
Has the other semi-final started yet, Graham?
7 racks to throw.
It's not, it's actually coming up next. After this match, we're going to have Adam Smith against Damian Massey.
There we go.
That'll be a good match.
So stay tuned. Just want to give a shout out to the referees, because they do a really good job. It's a long weekend, and they give a lot of their time, and they deserve a shout out, I think.
Yeah, definitely. The team are missing Viv Rusko, who's usually the tournament director, and they've done a really good job without her being here. I know she does a good job when she's here, but it certainly hasn't felt as if she's missing. But yeah, long days for the guys, but they love the game, they love GB9, and they always represent GB9 very well. This is a decent safety. Actually, does that 5 go as a combination?
Well, I think more than attempting the combination, you can almost kind of use it to hold the 3 up there and bring the white back down.
But if you're John, you need to try and force yourself an opportunity. Don't be careless, but he needs to get at the table. He needs to get running racks here, because otherwise he's going to be in a lot of trouble. Let's see.
If he's coming back down the table with the white, he needs to avoid the 8 there on the side rail.
He's gone for the
Oh, he
combo.
went for the combination.
Nice. What did
You
he say,
called
Johnny?
it, Graham, you called it.
Fortune favours the brave, and that was a brave shot.
The old Del Boy trotter, isn't it? He who dares wins.
Well, it's going to take a real effort for John Mcallister to win this match, but we're not going to put it past him. He is definitely capable. Yuri on the chat's just asking, what's the races in the challenge division?
I believe it's race to 8.
Yes. Yep, race to 8 on the winner's side and 7 on the loser's side, so no margin for error.
We're down to the knockout stages now, though, aren't we? I love these rests they've got, Graham, these bat-wing rests. What do you make of them?
Yeah, they're really good. I mean, they cater for every shot, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, snooker players out there, they might not see these rests as often, but I think they're great. Bat wings, we call them.
Right, so he is the wrong side of this 4.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of a problem here because the 7 blocks the 6 into the corner and he can't get the white in between it from that angle, so he's either going to have... He's got some options here. He could play for the combination, or he could leave the white in the middle of the table and try and bank the 6 cross side. That's the other option.
This is why I'm really happy that you're here, Johnny, because I wouldn't have a clue what to do here.
I'd be tempted to get the white back to the middle of the table and try and bank that 6 cross side, but that combination with the 7, you can see the 7's a little bit off the rail. Making that combination is going to be pretty tricky, I think.
Yeah,
I think he's got a better chance of the bank shot.
He's gone safe.
Or you could do that. You could just
Yeah.
play safe, contain the situation, and keep yourself in the rack.
Yeah, do you know, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the worst strategy. You're almost buying yourself another shot. Do you know what I mean? That's the way I look at it.
And the thing is, Mark's not got much to hide behind here because you're 7, the 8's on the rail, 6 is there. It's really just the 9 is all he can use as a blocker.
Yeah.
Well, he could.
He's not got all that much of a shot here, is he?
This is where it's tough for me, you know, trying to work out.
I think he might just be trying to land up to this in the end. He might come off the bottom rail and just try and land softly up to this because I can't see what else he's got here. He just tried to flick off it there. That was risky because he needed a lot of side.
Do you know what?
The thing about that though is they'll always give him ball in hand. He knew if he missed it, he wasn't selling the rack out.
He's not leaving a huge amount.
He's not selling out. He's going to get another chance. You know what I mean? To at least make contact. Whereas other situations, you give away ball in hand, you're looking at the loss of a rack.
You're giving it away. And credit to John there. You know, we thought he was going to go aggressive and try and make the ball. He's opted to go safe, and he's got his reward here.
Well, he's got his reward
to
a degree.
Yeah.
He's not earned the run out chance yet, which is what he's ultimately looking to gain from the situation. But
yeah, I mean that's the shot I would have played there.
I tell you what, that bank looks set before 6 up the rail.
He's just got to make the contact. Is the 6 slightly off? Yeah, it looks like it's well.
Off, yeah.
So he's going to spin into it.
He's going to spin into this quite slowly, I think. That is a brilliant shot. That is a brilliant shot. It's one of those ones. It looks easy, but with these cloths, these fine cloths, to judge that like that isn't as easy as it looks.
So I think John's going to use this 6 as a blocker again. Similar situation.
It's like a little game of chess, this, isn't it? These type of situations. it's nice. You get a mixture. You get the run-outs, the join the dots, the spin in the white rounded table, and you get a little bit of this. I like a little bit of balance.
Has he left a little edge here? I think he has. So,
Yeah,
I don't think Mark is quite as tied up as we thought he was going to be. Still a tough safety here.
yeah. Unfortunately, I don't think he can see a full ball, but he might be able to see just the right-hand side of this. I don't know if he can see enough to take on the carom on the 7, Graham. What do you think?
I'd say that's quite risky. But then again, what else is there to play?
Yeah, I think that's what he's gone for. I think that. Maybe he didn't. I don't know.
Again, though, it's a containing safety. You know, isn't that 4 frozen to the rail? That's what the referee's checking right now. I think he said not frozen.
Unfortunately, he's queuing over the 6 here a little
Oh
bit
yeah,
as
that's
well,
tough.
which doesn't help the situation.
So again, going back to what I said earlier on, is John going to go aggressive? He needs this rack. Is he going to take a chance here? It is close to the rail, so he could possibly flick this one in. The 6 is over the bag. He's gone save. Oh, he's gone for the bag.
I think he went for the bank there.
He's gone all out there.
I think he went all out there. To be honest, the safety shot was not easy, and that could cost him this rack. It's another one of those situations, you know, he had the chance earlier on, Graham, to play for the bank on the 6. He decided to go safe, which I'm not saying it was the wrong decision, but it's hard to win these safety battles
Yeah,
against
absolutely.
experienced players, and there must be a little part of him that thinks, well, I never got a better shot, a chance than that.
Was that the shot to go aggressive rather than the one that he chose to go aggressive on?
Yeah.
Yeah. He'll be kicking himself now.
I think we all think like that a little bit. We all think, oh, well, I'll wait for a better chance, I'll wait for a better chance, but that's the gamble you take a little bit, you know.
He's missed it. Wow. Did not expect that.
What a bonus this for John. If he can get back to 7-4 here, he'll still feel like he's got a good shout here. 8-3. Your last chance saloon, aren't you?
Nice. There's a lot of pressure on that 8, although it was a fairly straightforward elementary 8. A lot of pressure on it. Okay, so we're not yet over here. 7-4. I mean, you talk about the swings and one frame or one rack making a difference. 8-3, 7-4. That is enormous. That was a huge, huge rack.
Well, it's the old adage of, you know, keeping your opponent off the hill.
Yep.
It just makes you feel like you've still got a good chance.
And if John takes this one, possibly the next one, you know, it's game on.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, at 7-3, and you think, oh, this is a long way back. When you get the comeback started and you get back 7-4, 7-5, suddenly the pressure can reverse onto the guy who's had the lead,
Oh yeah.
and the momentum can sort of carry you forward.
Oh, cue ball. Oh. He didn't need that.
Ball in it.
No, unfortunately, he lost the white down the bottom of the rack there, and that can always happen. There's so many balls down there, and it can nudge off them and go in a pocket. He didn't do that earlier in the match. He managed to keep that white back towards the centre of the table, but he just lost that one, and he's been a little bit unfortunate. It's cost him there.
Tell you what, Mark jumped out of his chair there. He's
Mark-
seen an opportunity that he didn't expect.
Might take the opportunity to move the 6 here,
Yeah.
just away from the 8.
Yeah, automatic position on the 3, isn't it? Not quite automatic,
Yeah,
but it's
you can tell he's looking at just nudging that 6 away. He doesn't have to, but it could help him.
yeah, good shot. He is slightly hampered by this 8 though. I think he's okay.
Yeah, so he just slides over. He's far enough there. Now, do you play this off the top rail between the 8 and the 9, Graham, or between
Yeah.
the 7 and the 6 and the 8?
I think you.
Between the 8 and the 9.
Yeah, between 8 and
Yeah.
9, yeah.
Just off one rail.
Oh, he's missed it. A couple of unforced errors here from Mark that we did not expect to see.
This will be giving John just a little boost here,
Oh yeah.
just to say to himself, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute.
This guy's under a bit of pressure, and the thing is that playing on Mark's mind that's now 2 unforced errors, 2 misses that he's made. What's he thinking in his chair at the moment? He's kind of got away with it a little bit there because John's only really got a quarter ball hit on
I
this
mean,
four.
we're talking up here. Mark won't be panicking. Mark will not be panicking. That could slide in.
Nice, good shot. Tell you what,
He played that at the right pace,
Pace.
that shot.
I was just
That
going
was
to
all
say,
about pace.
when you're playing on a nice, slick anti-cloth like this, sometimes it doesn't have to be the cleanest of pots, as long as you can just get it at the right pace.
That's what I like about these Rasson tables. They reward players for playing shots at the right pace.
Oh, cue ball.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
John.
He will be gutted with that. Gutted.
All in.
Oh, what a chance he had. How relieved is Mark Gray going to feel here? I mean, he must have felt like he'd given this rack away. 7-5 it could have been. Even just looking at Mark's body language is just... That's a big boost for him. Do you see any issues with him running the rest of this?
No, I can't see it. I think that previous shot with John, I think he maybe just got a little bit surprised with how square that came off the rail.
Yeah.
Because the cushions are very responsive.
Oh yeah.
They're very responsive, and he might have just thought he was going to slide up above the middle pocket there.
Okay. 8-4. Mark's on the hill now.
Back to my ground.
Oh, that was a big rack to lose for John.
This other semi-final, Graham. Any score prediction for that one?
It's tough to predict that one, isn't it? Both players as capable as each other. I don't know a huge amount about Damian Massey myself. I know very much who he is. He's been a stalwart of G9 for a long time. He can beat anyone on his day. Adam, because Adam Smith plays on our tour back in Scotland, I know a lot more about his game. He's playing some good pool right now. He's winning tournaments pretty much everywhere he goes. His game is sharp. if you were to push me for a prediction, I would say Adam. But I think it's going to be tough. What do you think, Johnny? I think you're a bit more knowledgeable than I am.
Well, they're both very experienced. They know their way around the 9-ball table. And I think neither of them will panic if they get off to a bad start, and they're both very, very good at digging in, and I'm going to say 9-7 either way. I can't push for a winner, I don't think.
Wow, John, nice. Oh, he might have
Oh, he's
flipped us
flipped a
3.
three, yeah.
Wow. All right. He might have manufactured himself a little chance here.
Yeah, and it just shows you how the difference though, because this, if he'd taken that previous rack and that opportunity and avoided the scratch on that shot, this would be for 7-6, Graham. This would be for 7-6.
Oh man. Wow.
So, it just shows you how big that was.
Small margins at this level, isn't it?
You said it.
A little bit short here.
Yeah, this isn't ideal. I don't know. Yeah, he's trying to avoid the 9. He's not going to flirt with it, I don't think.
He's done well there.
He's done very well. He could have easily lost the white behind the 7 there. Now this one, you just need to make up your mind which side of the 9 you're going with the white, and make that decision. Get that decision clear in your mind before you take the shot. Are you staying below the 9 or are you going back up above it? It's going back up above it. I think that was the right choice.
Yeah, it was the right shot. Yeah. You going 2 rails here, Johnny, to come round for the 8?
Yeah, I'll be going 2 rails here for the 8 on the side. And it's one of those shots where you're better going too hard than too short, so you just give it that extra wee oomph.
Absolutely. As long as he's on the right side, and he is, that's the most important thing here.
Well held, so 8-5 incoming.
Do you know, credit to John. I think a lot of people would feel, you know, that this is pretty much over. But you know, he's continuing. He's.
But it's one of those, isn't it? At this point, when Mark's on the hill, sometimes you can free up a bit, can't you?
Okay, having a little look here at the chat. Yuri, glad you're still with us, pal. It's been nice speaking to you. Hope you've enjoyed this game. And our old friend Andrew Chook is there on Facebook chat as well. We know Andrew very well from back in Scotland. Andrew, we miss you on the pool scene. We want to have you back. Hopefully
Hope to see you soon, pal.
He's played 1 GB9, Andrew, and I think he really enjoyed himself. Had a great time.
He loved every minute of it.
Handy little player as well.
Every time somebody comes here for the first time, they can't believe how much they enjoy it.
Absolutely. Right, big rack here for John. A break and run. This would be great if he could run this one.
He needs to keep the white high here. Try not to lose it. Yeah. Do you know what he's done there? He's overcompensated because of the previous break. I think he's made sure that didn't happen again, and he's screwed it, and it's gone up towards the top there. That can happen, can't it? You know, because you're searching for that sweet spot, and then if you go one way and you think to yourself the next break, right, a bit lower here, make sure I don't lose it, and then what do? It's a bit like going from left to right on the golf course, isn't it?
Absolutely. You know? And it's so easy, just that little bit extra. You're going to avoid the pocket, but you could potentially hit another pocket. You know, it's so possible. Looking at the chat, we've got Ziggy 9ball2. Hi Ziggy, nice to see you. Thanks for tuning in.
And a shout out there to Dave Knight, who's been here for the weekend. He's just shouted out on the chat there. Absolutely fantastic what he does.
Yeah, great guy, Dave.
You know, the service he provides to the players with regard to, you know, he's got the lathe here for Q-tipping, and he's got all the products here. And
absolutely.
You know, he really is a lifesaver for some of these guys.
Johnny, I will say I use his retipping service every 6 months or so. He retips my cues and he does such a good job, so professional. I haven't had one bad retip from him. Yeah.
And of course, there was a raffle earlier on this weekend, wasn't there?
There
Raising
was,
some money for a regular tour player, Mark England, who would just like to give a shout out about. He hasn't been well, and on behalf of myself and all the guys at GB9, we wish him all the best. But that's fantastic that we managed to raise a little bit of money just to show some solidarity and support.
Yeah, absolutely. We're talking about stalwarts on the GB9 tour. We've said that about a few guys. Yeah, Mark's there. You know, almost every event, Mark is there. Really handy player as well, isn't he?
He is, yeah.
Yeah, we'll hopefully see him back on the tour pretty soon. Oh wow, Big Dave. I just seen that comment. Oh, nice little touch here from Mark.
Yeah, I just seen that comment there. It pays to be nice, doesn't it?
Is he behind this 6? He
has,
is. Oh, that was a thin snick on that 3, wasn't it?
It was a fine shot, as they say.
Dave, thank you very much for that offer. Right, so pressure on John here. He cannot make any mistakes at this moment.
Well, I'm not sure what John's jumping skills are like, but he only needs to jump over the side of this ball. He is quite close to it, but he doesn't need to hop the whole ball, if you know what I mean.
Maybe a little swerve here. See, I personally would go for just a little swerve round that 6. Quite risky.
Oh, this is
right, okay.
This is difficult. The white could hop up in the air here. Oh, he's
done well.
He's done.
Oh, the double kiss.
He almost deserved a bit better out of that. That was a good shot.
Oh, he's walking back to his chair. I think he thinks it's all over. Mark's got a wide open table here for the win. Can you see any little bits of this rack where Mark could make a mistake? It's tough.
Well, only unlikely, but I suppose the 6 from the 7, the 6 to the 7 is the only real place that really could go wrong. But I can't see it.
5 to the 6 maybe, but yeah, he's got the wide open top part of the table.
He's gonna go between the 8-9 here through that gap and come out for the 6.
Oh yeah, there we go. Plenty of room. Oh, I fear the worst here for John. It's been a good effort from John, and he's a terrific player, you know.
Is he going to swing this round 2 rails?
I would say so.
Yep.
Yeah, good shot. Again, big margin of error here, big area to fall into.
It's all about percentages of these guys. It's all about keeping the percentages in your favour, shot after shot after shot.
Yeah, I think it's all over, guys. I think we have our first finalist here. Respect to John Mcallister, a good run from him.
Excellent run from John. You know,
This is for the win. Yep, well done, Mark. Great. So Mark is in the final now, and he will await the winner of our next match here on the TV table. Everyone, keep tuned.
and that is Adam Smith versus Damian Massey coming up. It's been a pleasure, Graham.
Yeah, thanks, Johnny. Thanks for your time. Well done, Mark. What a great player. Guys, thank you very much for your comments. It's been nice chatting to you.
Absolutely, much appreciated.
Hang around, and we'll be seeing you soon.
And Mark will just go and have a bit of a relax now, sit down.
Absolutely. He's been here before.
He might go
I
and get
wonder if he
something
has
to
a
eat.
routine.
I'd imagine, I mean, I haven't spoken to him, but I'd imagine, I mean, he'll just sit down and have something to drink, maybe something to eat, I'm not sure.
Thanks,
Sit
Ryan
quietly.
O'Neill. Thank you so sorry, Johnny, I talked over you there. Thank you so much, Ryan, for that nice comment. And Chris Slack, one of our old friends from Scotland as well. Nice to see you, Chris. Okay, we're gonna
We're going to
call it a day.
call it a job there.
Thanks, guys.